Okay, number 4, The Ugly Stepsister. This is from Norway. I can probably count on one hand the number of Norwegian films I've seen, but this is certainly my favorite Norwegian horror film. The Ugly Stepsister is basically a dark fairy tale. So it takes the Cinderella myth, which we all know, and updates it and gives it a really fascinating and I would say nasty reinterpretation. I will say there are some mild spoilers here. I haven't really done any plot spoilers for the other films, but I will say if you watch the film, what I'm going to tell you about it is not going to ruin your experience at all. So the film centers on Elvira, who's a young woman of noble birth, but she has no money. So because she lives in this patriarchal system that doesn't let women just do what they want, she's kind of forced to try to find a prince to marry to keep them from plummeting into poverty. The problem is she is conventionally unattractive, meaning that she is not beautiful by the standards of the day. Because of this, she endures kind of near constant bullying and humiliation for her quote-unquote ugliness. Where still, her mother subjects her to this really horrific series of surgeries and medical interventions, which includes her nose being broken in 2 places and shoved into this thing to reform her nose into a different shape. And it really crescendos when she decides that she's going to swallow a tapeworm egg so that she can eat as much as she wants and lose weight. There are several scenes in this movie that really are endurance tests. Bodily ickiness and fluids and parasites. This is not horror for the easily offended or easily grossed out, but I'm telling you, it is so worth it. It's fantastic. The cinematography is amazing. The practical effects are perfect. And it gives this really, really, really interesting twist because basically, and here's kind of where the spoiler comes, she legitimately becomes beautiful. But then what happens after that is, in her state of having conventional beauty, she becomes increasingly desperate and destructive. So she's finally kind of met the standard, but through her brutal behavior, she demonstrates how evil these standards are.
I've lost my mind.
So ultimately, the film becomes this devastating kind of takedown of beauty standards created by men in a patriarchal society, the way that it often divides people and forces people to do horrendous things to their bodies in order to meet these standards. And I don't know if you spent any time on the internet recently, but doing horrendous things to your bodies to meet beauty standards is kind of in right now. So this movie feels very topical. Despite the endurance sense though, just great film. Please check it out.